when it's all over YouTube on every channel, it seems like I can watch about it and learn about it for a while, but then I start feeling like not good, you know? I mean, I respected the hell out of this guy. You know, he was like a father figure.
Do you find that the AE, and this is something I find, that the AEW crowd is kind of like the modern ECW crowd, and I'm that, which is a good thing. I'm not knocking
Yeah,
it.
I mean, that could be said, and I think it just was. And I'm not going to disagree with it. You know, it's like times are different. So in today's day and age and everything, that's like the closest thing that you have to what we had back then, because it's an alternative product. It's rebellious against a lot of the tradition. And it's someone standing up against the mainstream saying, hey, forget about them, check us out, we're going to give you, you know, the whole show. And then, you know, they got a lot of support from the fans that are excited about it, and you know, supportive. They want to see AEW come to their town, whether it has or not. So yeah, I look at it from that perspective. I can agree with you.
So now, one of the other things about ECW, you were in there with Taz for such a long time. The, both of you, I mean, just his level of work and your level of work, and now you're standing beside his kid, Hook. I mean, it's been, all over the internet that Hook is his son. And tell us about the first time you met him at AEW. Had you not seen him in a long time, and what'd you talk about?
I don't remember what we talked about, but
Hook,
Taz,
I'm talking about now.
well, I hadn't seen him ever before I met him.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he might have come around to ECW sometimes when he was a kid.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I wouldn't bet like my life savings on it, because it could have happened. But Taz wasn't one to bring his family around, and if he did, I kind of feel like he would have kayfabed it, and kept them
Sure, sure.
away from the boys and stuff. Anyway, that's back then. But man, he's a good kid. Like right away. I was first. First thing to notice about him was he's Taz's kid. So it's like, oh, cool. And I worked with your dad. I'm working with you, and that's cool. This is, I've been doing it for generations and generations. But the other thing I noticed right away was how the people took to him, and I was intrigued by that. Like, why does everyone like him so much? Because he seems so
Yeah.
over. Yeah. And then, but the more I'm around him, it's like, man, he's what's not to like. He's like a really likable kid. And then, obviously, he's a sweeter kid in the back than when he's out there and he's got his punk attitude on and stuff. But
Yes.
I like that side of him, where he's like, he's not going to take anything from anybody, regardless of the size or difference or whatever. And I feel like that's something that he probably got from his dad, as far
Oh,
as like, brother, don't cross this line or you got me to deal with. And
right then.
when I saw him do that promo on Samoa Joe, personally, I just thought it was funny the way he held the microphone up like that. Like
Yeah.
maybe people have done that before, probably, but I hadn't seen it. So I just thought it was funny because it was so not like, yeah, it made him look like someone that was, I don't know, a hood from the streets that has something to say, instead of someone that was trained and groomed on how to do a wrestling promo the correct way. And so that's how it came across. I like him. What's not to like about him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does he do any of his moves remind you, other than the suplexes and stuff, of his dad?
Only the suplex, only the suplex. I think that he's a lot different. I think that his vibe is a lot more like mine, more of a 420 friendly vibe, as
Mhm.
compared to the vibe that Taz always put off, which was a really intense,
Yes.
stand too close to me kind of vibe, back in the
Yeah.
day, not now. Okay.
In the news, and we can't avoid this because we're talking about the professional wrestling business. This guy,
I don't recognize
oh,
him. Is that Hammerhead from Marvel Comics?
yeah, yeah, Vince McMahon. Well,
Yeah.
all the stuff that's come down, and you know, you always have a unique perspective on everything that's going on in this business politically and everything. When you first heard what was going on, et cetera, give me your thoughts about what's going on with him.
Well, I mean, first off, it's absolutely crazy, right? I and uh, I'm really shocked and sickened by it. You know, like when it's all over YouTube on every channel, it seems like I can watch about it and learn about it for a while, but then I start feeling like not good. You know, I mean, I respected the hell out of this guy. You know, he was like a father figure in a way to me, and I told him that. You know, and he's like the most. I told him he's the most important person I knew. Like one of the most recognizable, one of the most famous, and you know, to uh, I read the whole 67-page complaint, and even if this stuff was consensual, I'm disturbed by it because it's just crazy, crazy stuff, you know. And I'm interested to see if something totally unexpected comes out in the way of defense that blows everybody away. Don't know if it will or not, but I have to think that it's might be possible, but it's just crazy. And it's also crazy now that it's out for everybody to look back and be like, well, yeah, you know, as far as not Vince, but the rest of the company, oh yeah, it's always been there. And we could trace it back decades. And it's crazy that it was just kind of like not as big of a deal until now. And now we're in a different time and age with the Me Too movement and everything. Now we look back at stuff in the 80s that was joked about, and we vilify those who did it, and you know, maybe rightfully so, but just knowing the bigger picture, and I'm just saying this, I don't know, to help people that are completely shocked find some balance. um the further you go back in time, you know, the more you're gonna get men abusing women when it comes to that. Women didn't even have rights, you know, until like the 20s, and it was a man's world. And if you go, all the Hollywood studios ran like that. You know, Louis B. Mayer at MGM used to prostitute the stars out, the women and all this, and it's always been part of entertainment and part of life. Now the information trading is like on a new level with social media and with everything, so everything is coming to light now, and everything is progressing and changing. Don't forget, we didn't even allow black people to come in the front door until the 60s, you know, and it was we're on a movement, and this is where we're at on the movement right now. So I just like to keep that in perspective because it's hard to shock me anymore. And too many people are completely shocked. And when you're shocked, that means you're vulnerable. That means you're dumbfounded. You weren't prepared. It means you weren't ready. Shocked isn't a good thing. So quit being shocked. You know, just have, you know, take in the facts so that you can at least be somewhat prepared. I don't know where this is going to go. I was asked, you know, to be on a high profile show talking about this, and you know, I gave it some thought, and but you know, I'm getting royalties, and so I decided I will bow out from that on a
Mhm.
bigger public format, not bigger than this, but you
Yeah,
know,
no, all right.
you might know about it anyway.
So let's talk about March 9th, Chillicothe, Ohio,
Yes.
world-class, big-time professional wrestling. For the very first, there's going to be over 50 legends there. Um, just an incredible array that Bobby Fulton and Dylan Hines have put together with some of the other promoters there. And for the very first time, it's going to be you in the ring against Matt Riddle. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so you know, a lot of people want to see us together, whether it's tag teaming or wrestling each other. Obviously, we have some things in common. And I'm pretty sure he was probably inspired by RVD. And so let's just say that whatever he learned from watching me, um, he might have learned everything that he knows from me, but he didn't learn everything that I know because I didn't teach him all that. Looking forward to it. This is like my third or fourth time in Chilla Coffee.
Yeah, it's
Um,
great. And
they,
I'm going to be doing a Q&A with you in front of
looking
the fans.
forward to it. You better save some questions then.
I'm going to do that. That's why we're going to end this right now. Where can people find you on the social media platforms?
Always at the Real RVD and on YouTube at the Real RVD. I have a podcast that some people are just finding out about. Other people are supporting it and enjoying it. So I'll probably keep doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
And that's it's at Premier Streaming Network. But then,
Yes, Josh Chernoff,
yeah,
I mentored him growing up.
awesome.
Did
Yeah.
you
So
know
then,
that?
I think you did mention that to me when I
Yeah, I
told you I was
may
doing
have.
the podcast. Yeah.